What is up guys, Nicki here, finally bringing you the March recap video. I know that we're already like halfway into April, but I thought better late than never, and there's a lot to talk about, so let's get right into it. Before I get to the really juicy, interesting tournaments, I will quickly go over all the smaller tournaments that happened, so that no one feels left out, and you guys can be sure that you aren't missing out on anything that's happened in the German Smash scene. First up, we've got Red Fox Winter. Now you might be thinking, I knew it, Nicki has finally lost his mind, this tournament was in Spain, not in Germany, but actually 3 German players traveled to Sevilla and participated in this tournament. I had never heard their gamer tags before, but I greatly respect them for attending an international tournament like that. Leipzig had its first iteration of an esports event, and some of the East Germany guys participated in the melee bracket. Alex and Komori placed first and second respectively. You might not have heard of Alex before, but he's a really cool Fox player whom I played free play against at Smash and Wittenberg 4. He's really curious in regards to the game and he's trying really hard to improve, so I think he might have some great performances at larger German tournaments soon. On the 17th of March, an iteration of the Gemütlicher Hugo-Abend tournament series was won by Phil after beating Fex in winners finals. Fex dropped out of the tournament once he was put into losers, so Frogger scored a second place finish here. Nothing too interesting to see here, however it is cool that Phil is finally starting to defeat all of his Marth demons like Dragon and Fex. I should probably try to learn a thing or two from that. Then we've got the TSV SSBM Cup number 1 in Mannheim, which took place on the same date and was won by Mawakate, who traded sets with Parsec. Neither of them dropped games to anyone else at the tournament, which is really cool because I'm a big fan of consistency at all levels of play. On the following weekend we had a Premium Monthly, where FatmanSpam was the only notable attendee and he didn't drop a single game. And we also had Moin Project M in Hamburg. I know that not all of you are fans of Project M, but this tournament was really cool in a nice venue with sick people, so if you find PM even a little bit fun, you should definitely attend the next Moin, if there ever is one. Now that we've at least glossed over these non-major tournaments, we can finally get to those events where there were either a lot more players, or just more PR players. On the 10th of March, both PPM number 4 and Oak Smash number 3 had some really cool sets that are worth looking at. Let's start with Oak Smash. While Timmy demolished everyone, as we have come to expect from him, the main storyline in my opinion was Flower Snail placing third by beating Fortil twice, Belt, before falling to Levi in an extremely close set. It was insane, I had never seen so much spaghetti in one game before. Unfortunately, the VODs got nuked, so you all won't be able to experience that crazy set ever again. PPM number 4 had a pretty insane top 8 bracket, since both the first and the second seed lost their respective winners semis matches, leading to a Puff Ditto and winners final between Frozen Light and VK, in which VK came out on top. Kobobi still made it to Grands by beating Fatman and Frozen Light, but lost the first set of Grand Finals 3-2, giving VK a really good tournament win over the number 9, number 10 and number 13 on the current German PR. VK and Squiltendorf are in my opinion the 2 brilliant smashers that have crazy potential which they just need to show off, which VK definitely did here. Now let's get to the really good stuff, Smash and Wittenberg 4. This tournament featured 6 of the German top 10 players and delivered some really hype sets. Unfortunately, Karon couldn't attend the event. I'm still waiting to finally see a set between him and Däumling, because I'm pretty sure that it would be insanely close and really fun to watch. Relevant sets and pools were FatmanSpam beating Squiltendorf 2-1, Stevo beating King Meruem and Haki scoring a win over Komori. Stevo just keeps on racking up top 20 wins and I cannot see him not being on the next PR. His results are just way too good for that already. The first notable set in top 24 was Kobobi's 2-0 win over Meruem. Meruem had spent a lot of time on Twitter trash talking Kobobi and challenging him to money matches, but it seems like Kobobi had the last laugh here. Winners quarters gave us even more cool sets like Nicki vs Stevo, which I won 3-0, Däumling vs Squiltendorf, which was another 3-0, Schlimmschädi vs Fatman, which was also a 3-0, and Kellner vs Kobobi, which was a 3-1 in Kellner's favor. In losers, Meruem 2-0'd Squiltendorf to secure himself a spot in top 8, where he got his revenge against Stevo, beating him 3-2 and securing himself a spot in losers quarters. Kobobi managed to do the same, beating Fatman 3-1. It feels like those two have been playing a lot recently, and Kobobi just wins every time. Fatman will really have to figure something out if he wants to prevent this beautiful Captain Falcon from ending all his tournament runs. Winners semifinals were myself against Däumling, which Nicki won 3-0, and Schlim Shady against Kellner, where the first two games made it look like someone will finally be able to stop this goddamn doctor. Schlim, however, recovered and reversed 3-0 Kellner to make it into winners finals. The resulting losers quarters matches between Kellner and Miriam, which was a 3-0, and Däumling vs Kobobi, which was a 3-1, went pretty much exactly as expected. Losers semis was a 3-1 for Kellner over Däumling. In losers finals, Kellner had to play against Nicki because this damn Dr. Mario just had everyone's number that day, beating me 3-2 in winners finals. I managed to make it back into grands by beating Kellner in a close 3-1, and when I was playing in losers, I realized that I have finally had enough of this shit and that German Smash needs a savior. I told myself it's fine, now you will try, and I 6-1 Schlim Shady in grands to win the tournament. I'm low-key really salty about having lost a set against him, but oh well, it happens. He's way too good for me to just stomp him every time nowadays. Okay, so now that I've spent 5 minutes talking about a tournament only to praise myself, we can move on to Smash Fort number 34, which happened the weekend after Smash in Wittenberg. The main storylines here were Dart showing up to the German tournament, and the great return of Prince, the undoubtedly best puff in Germany and the player used to be ranked 5th in Germany throughout all of 2017. And then what happens? Prince loses in pools. Vision scored the big upset by beating Prince 2-1. This led to Prince and Dart, the first and second seed, playing in winners quarters where Dart won 2-0. Falling into losers, most Germans who know Prince would still have expected him to easily make it back into grands. He 2-0'd Blade to make it into loser side of top 8, but he lost to Phil 3-0 right after. Yeah, no one really saw that coming. After Phil beat Parsec, Mawakata and Vision to make it into grands, he took one set off of Dart's secondaries before getting 3-0'd in the second set of grand finals. Both Smash in Wittenberg and Smash Fort set up a good narrative for the biggest German Smash tournament ever, Respawn 6. Almost all of the German PR players, including Dart, were in attendance, plus the likes of Chudat, Overtriforce, Maye, Levinji, Timmy, Glory, Quick, Baron Brody and Yogi. People were asking themselves, is Prince washed after not playing for a while and then getting 7th at Smash Fort? Is Schlim Shady going to continue outplacing Kellner, Blaze and Däumling? Will Mahi break his streak of getting 9th at literally every single international tournament? Respawn would be the tournament to answer all these questions. I was going to go over every single pool, but that would have taken me way too long since I would then want to talk about every single set, so I'll just quickly go over all the upsets that happen in pools, and I'll also mention a few sets that were not upsets, but where the result is still notable. I will only be focusing on the sets that actually mattered in terms of who makes it into the bracket. Stormred, who was seeded 3rd in his pool, beat Fex 2-1 to make it into bracket. I like seeing Samus play and I like seeing Marth lose even more, so I think that's a pretty cool result. Yogurt beat Dragon 2-0 in the Marth Ditto. I do not think that this is a huge upset, but according to the seeding it is, and I want to give Yogurt credit for getting this win over a player who is around the top 20 in Germany level. German Smash legend Quick, who was once ranked 3rd in Germany, entered Melee at Respawn but failed to secure the first seed in his pool after losing 2-0 to Kobobi. Another returning old school player, who used to be in the German top 10, Yomi, had his chances of making it into the bracket wobbled away by Komori. Sneddy beat the up-and-coming Vision 2-1 to make it into the bracket, and Leax, a Spanish fox, beat Caron 2-0 to get first in that pool. I really didn't expect that last one, don't get me wrong, Leax is good, but Caron usually eats most foxes for breakfast. Some other notable results that you might have missed include Mawakate getting really close to beating Timmy, but in the end losing 2-1. Trent and Mr. Love, aka Young Ulrich, had a hype set on stream which went down to last stock, last hit, where Mr. Love clutched it out. Miriam was once again in a pool with a Peach, Blaze this time, and Miriam once again lost 2-0. I'm telling you, once the Peaches stop all his tournament runs, he'll be making big top 8 soon. But until he figures out that matchup, it'll be hard to win any German tournament, since there will always be at least one Peach player in your way. Däumling 2-0'd Fatman Spam, and Prince beat Käse 2-1 in a slow, but really exciting set. Oh, wait a minute, I think I forgot one pool. Oh yeah, I did, I almost forgot to mention this clusterfuck of a pool. Where do I even begin with this? First off, the top 3 seeds were Schlim Shady, a Dr. Mario player, Yogi, a Yoshi main from France, and Blade, a Luigi main. This combination of characters is already a rare sight. Schlim Shady ended up losing to both Blade and Yogi. The latter won all the sets, so Yogi made it into the bracket as a first seed. Slim Shady would have drowned in pools had Blade not lost to MM720. This led to Slim and Blade being tied in set count, but Slim winning one more game, thus securing himself a spot in the bracket. The gods really were on his side that day. Did he make anything out of his spot in top 32? Let's find out now. All the sets I'll mention now are matchups that took place in winners round 1. Kobobi lost the Berlin Ditto to Kara in 3-2. Phil continued his recent upwards trend, beating Yogi 3-2. Timmy had a close set against Rix's super cool Marth, which Timmy won in another 3-2. Quick beat Leax, Levinji beat Slim Shady, and Mawakate 2-0'd Glory, which was in my opinion the most surprising set of that round of the bracket. It was surprising in the sense that Glory is amazing, but it wasn't surprising when you look at Austrian top players and their records against characters below Peach on the tier list. Hanover suffered 2 unfortunate losses, with Fatman losing an extremely close set to Prince and Miriam losing an even closer set to Kellner. Miriam was so close to finally beating a good Peach in a bracket, but failed to do so once again. In losers round 1, Stormrat beat Leax. The Dutch Peach fought an L 3-0'd Fatman Spam, which was surprising as Fatman is good against Peach, and finally Glory lost to yet another Mario brother, falling 3-0 to Slim Shady. All of the sets in winners round 2 went as expected, with 5 of the 8 sets ending in 3-0s. The only sets that were closer were Dart against Däumling, Over vs Prince and Nicki vs Kellner, but all of these still ended with a 3-1 in the higher seeds' favor. The same thing happened in winners round 3, where the only not 3-0 was my set against Over, where I had a lead in all of game 4 and then I choked it away harder than I've ever choked anything away. To be fair, the ending and my reaction to getting gimped are pretty funny, so I guess I'll just get him next time. Losers bracket from here up to top 8 featured a lot more close sets with some unexpected results. King Mirror might not have been able to get his first win over a Peach, however he managed to eliminate Karon from the tournament. Mawakate beat yet another Sheik, Keze this time, and his fellow Mario brother Slim Shady lost 3-1 to Däumling, which was surprising since he had beaten Däumling convincingly the last 2 times they played at Pixel Pokal and Trophy Garden. The sets in losers round 3 were all extremely close, but ended up going the way I would have expected them to. After that, we were already in the round where winning one set would secure you a spot in top 8. Timmy beat Mawakate 3-1, ending Mawakate's amazing run in 9th place. This tournament alone might be enough to justify giving Mawakate a place in at least the German top 15. After putting Kellner into the losers bracket, I also prevented Blaze from making it further into the tournament, giving Nicki a spot in top 8, where he would face the winner of Levinji and Miriam, and Levinji kind of destroyed Miriam, so I would have to face Levinji. The other side of losers top 8 featured a set between Timmy and the winner of Prince vs Maye. But since Maye and 9th place seemed to be an inseparable duo, Maye threw away game 4 against Prince in a way that was honestly pretty sad but still hilarious to watch, giving another German a spot in top 8. In top 8, Prince defeated Timmy in a convincing 3-1 and I beat Levinji in another 3-1. I was really sure Levinji would destroy me, you wouldn't believe how relieved I was after I won that set. Prince had to play against the loser of Ice and Over, which ended up being Over, as Ice showed that he's no longer the same player he was at Trophy Garden, beating Over convincingly in a 3-0. Prince made us all proud by giving us an amazingly close set, but he wasn't able to clutch out game 5 against Over, ending Prince's tournament run in 5th place. I had to play against Dart, who had been 3-0'd by Chudat in winners semis. And I'm gonna be honest here, I was already happy with my performance and I was sure I wouldn't win anyways, so I was not surprised that Dart 3-0'd me. It wasn't as brutal as I would have expected, and I hit some clean stuff, so I'll make sure to give you all a more exciting match to watch next time. Dart unfortunately wasn't able to take a game off of Over, ending his run in 4th place, whereas Over had secured his own spot in losers finals, where he had to face the loser of Ice and Chudat. Ice used to be known for being bad against weird characters, but he's a new man now, and new Ice was able to beat Chudat 3-1 in winners finals. By the way, I take at least 15% of the credit for his win there. Him and I talked about the matchup a ton and it seemed to have worked. Chu destroyed both Over's Sheik and Over's Ganondorf in losers finals, and Chudat didn't slow down on grands, beating Ice fairly convincingly in both sets of grand finals. However, I'm sure that Ice is still happy with that placing, and I'm certain that he learned a lot. I hope he can make the best out of it with his newly ignited fire for the game. To summarize, Prince is definitely not washed, instead he looked more like a candidate to be easily in the German top 5 skill-wise. Mahi can still not get rid of his 9th place curse, Slim Shady did decently well beating Glory, however his losses in pools and his loss to Daimling were a little bit unexpected, and we'll have to see if this was just a severe case of he had a bad day, or if he's going to come back and beat Daimling and the Peaches again, like he has been doing in the last few months. Miriam still can't beat Peach, but he's gotten closer than he ever has before, so I see a bright future ahead of him. Phil showed signs of consistently good play, and Mawakate is an absolute madman, holy shit. This dude got 9th place by beating the craziest players. Fatman still hasn't fixed his mindset issues, and Daimling was looking better once again, beating Schlimm and almost beating Blaze, but falling just short. Unfortunately, April is not going to be as interesting in terms of German tournaments that we'll be able to watch. However, I do have some more content planned to fill the gap, so keep an eye out for that. Thank you for watching.